Aloha, top of the morning, friends and family. As you can see, I'm here at the All-American Reptile Plant Expo. It hasn't really started yet. And what we're going to do in today's video is we're going to walk around, since the show hasn't started yet, and ask vendors what they think is going to sell at their booth, and then go back at the end of the show and find out if they actually sold it and for how much. So let's go. Dave, what's going on with the puppy?
This is now my puppy.
What are you going to do with that puppy?
I'm going to take him home. I'm going to hug him and squeeze him and pet him and love him and name him George.
Thank you, Dave. Jeremy, what do you have to say about this?
I mean, it's very cute. Dave's all right, but I'm really just here for the puppy.
Look at this.
Miri?
Look at this twitchy puppy.
No, she's mine.
I would never not record. I'm a professional. I just want to let everybody know, and Bob know too, that I'm a professional. I would never ever do something on the camera without pressing record first, ever.
This is not take two at all.
No, this is the first time we've done this. So what I'm here doing at the show is asking people what animal they think they're going to sell, just period. Not first, but just what animal do you think will sell here at your table?
So I'm pretty certain tomorrow we're going to sell at least 3-4 blue-eyed Lucy's ball pythons. And we've already sold 4 snakes today during VIP, so it's been pretty good. And then I'm pretty confident we're going to sell out of the California red-sided garter snakes. We only brought 2, a pair to sell, and I brought 2 to Tinley, and they sold on Friday at VIP, so we shouldn't have them by tomorrow afternoon.
And the most expensive snake on your table?
The most expensive snake on my table is VPI Azanthic Desert Ghost Het Clown male. We sold one in Tinley for $10,000. So we have another one here. This is the last male, basically, from that we will have until for another 4 or 5 months of this type, and he's available for $10,000.
So going around the show, and I'm asking people which animal do they think they have the highest likelihood of selling before the show's over?
Oh, that's easy. It's gonna be an RDR IMG girl for sure.
Okay, RDR IMG girl.
It's gonna be a black-eyed anery. Yeah, one of these ones for sure. Yeah, if we could keep up with production of these, we'd be in a good space.
All right. Yeah. All right. And also, what is the most expensive animal on your table?
Most expensive, Hypo Snow Glow Labyrinth VPI girl, $5,000.
Right here on my shoulder is a lily white male, and I think that's the most likely to sell because the price is right.
And male or female has a difference in whether or not it's going to sell, you think?
I think so, but I think the price is really sweet, so people will be like, it's a good enough male for a project that they'll buy it.
Even though most people are probably looking for females.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then your most expensive animal?
Yeah, I have a super sable here, so this is a new morph, really, on the market. So it's 2 sets of sable genes, making a super. And yeah, unfortunately, we talked about this earlier, this guy doesn't have any crests.
But what's the way that crests come back?
Yeah, so if we breed this guy to, or girl, I don't know yet, to a lineage that has really big crests, that will hopefully get him to have its offspring will have nice crests.
What's the price on the super sable?
I'm doing $2.5K.
All right, I'm here with Sabria. Sabria, so as you know, I'm asking what is the most likely plant that you're going to sell today?
I think it's going to be my Monstera albo. It's going to be this one.
What is it about this that makes you think it's going to be most likely to sell?
It's still a highly requested item, and this one in particular has very high variegation, and you can see here in the stem there. So I think it's actually probably going to be the first one of the items to sell today.
Okay, I know much less about plants than I do reptiles. What is it? Why would variegated be something that would be more likely to sell?
It's kind of popular right now. The Tycon was kind of more popular, and now the Monstera albo has kind of taken over. It's dropped tremendously in price. So the beautiful variegation, the drop in price, I think that's why it's going to be.
What is the price?
This one is only going to be $150.
Yeah, 150. What's your most expensive? 150. I was like, oh, it's most likely to sell it for a plant. 150. I don't know anything. What?
Perspective. A year ago, this would be about $400 or $500.
Really?
Price.
Gotcha. Well, I thought you were saying drop in price. Like you drop into the show and that's the price.
No, it's dropped in price over the years. Kind of like fashion, clothes, anything else. You know, they go through their phases. So this kind of has phased out. I do have another one that's kind of replaced this one. It's a little more expensive, but I've had a few people eye this one, so I feel comfortable.
Gotcha. Okay. So what's the most expensive plant that you're going to be having here today?
My baby, the Alocasia pink nobilis, is 400.
400. Okay, so not too big of a gap between the one that's most likely to sell and the most expensive. So what is it that makes this over 100% more than the other one?
It's still very rare. What does rare mean? My definition of rare is there's 100 or less in the world. There's definitely more than 100 of them, but this is not something you would find in a big box store. Why? The humidity, the fertilization, the care that it takes to survive. It's very delicate. The variegation here, pink. So anything you can see with pink, you can automatically triple digits there.
Gotcha. Thank you for the education. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, of course.
So I'll be back at the end of the show to see if you sold that one and also see if this one sold too. What's your name, brother?
I'm Connor.
Connor?
Connor Dixon.
Connor Dixon. Right on, man.
We sell quite a few sulcata tortoises and redfoot tortoises, tortoise-wise.
Is there one? I'm talking like one specific animal, one particular animal, like that we can see.
Probably our 6-inch sulcata will be sold out of that at the end of the show for sure.
When we say sold out of that, you mean like all of them that you brought?
Yeah, I only have 7, and we typically do pretty well with those.
Wow. Okay, that's all right. That's cool. We'll look forward to that. So, what's the most expensive on your table?
I have one male spider tortoise for $3,500. Probably not very likely to sell that one. The most expensive thing that might actually sell would be one of the Aldabra tortoises for $2,500.
What was the spider tortoise for? You said 4,500.
3,500 is what I have it tagged at. I'd probably take 3,000, but they're very rare. They're endemic to Madagascar. There's only a few people here in the U.S. that are breeding them.
I'm here with Spenny and Stephanie at the Herpetarium, and what do you guys specialize in?
We specialize in tree frogs and amphibians and building bioactive habitats and tanks. I custom build tanks for inside people's homes, and we do small ones, and we do bioactive supplies for stuff like that so that everybody can keep their animals top notch.
Is all that true? Mm-hmm. As I mentioned, I'm looking around to see what the animal is that you think is most likely to sell on your table here today.
I think today it's going to be our red-eyed tree frogs. I'm one of the few red-eyed tree frog breeders in the southeast that have all of the morphs and the albinos and stuff, and I think a lot of people are looking for the albino red eyes, so they're going to go pretty quick today, I think.
Is there one that you think is most like an individual that is most likely to sell?
Probably my big ones, the big red eyes. I have 2 sizes right now. Some are a little bit younger and some are a little bit older. The big ones are going to go the fastest.
What are you asking for those?
$350 a piece.
That's the most expensive thing on the table as well?
Yeah. Yep, that's our most expensive animal. The rest of the frogs are all a little bit cheaper than that. The greens are $150 a piece, and then everything else is lower than that.
I'm here with Brian at Sundown Reptiles.
Yeah, good to be here. Always nice to vend shows, and this is a new one for me, so happy to be here.
Awesome. So I'm going around the show, and I'm asking people what they think is the most likely animal to sell during the course of the show.
So for me, New Caledonian geckos are always really good sellers. It's a common, group of animals that it's very easy for people to keep. So for me, I think the New Cal stuff is always the first sellers for me usually. Yeah.
Do you have a specific animal that you think would be most likely to sell?
No, not a particular exact animal that I would say would be the one. It's just I've got a lot of stuff, so it's kind of you never know for sure.
Okay, and I know you're also known for your U.S. captive born and bred tree monitors.
Yes.
Are you maybe selling one of those, or?
Yeah, so this show, because I live in North Carolina, and we're in a North Carolina show, I was able to bring my baby blue tree monitors. So I do have some blues here, and I brought some yellow trees, and I also brought some captive bred abronia that I produced last year. So those are kind of probably some of the rarer animals that are not as much to be seen at a show in general. So,
what would you say is your most expensive animal on your table this weekend?
Probably one of the kahua that I brought. I work with some really high-end mossy prehensile-tailed geckos, so I've got some that are up there. Yeah.
I've always heard people say chahua. Are they doing it wrong?
I think it's a tomato, but with a lot of the Latin, if you hear a lot of stuff that's CH, it's ca, so chondrodactylus, or you heard of chondropython back in the day, and I think chahua was just something that caught on early. But if you listen to Aaron Bauer, who studies these in New Caledonia, who is a biologist, he calls them kahua, so I go with that.
I've been doing that with leucistic for years, and people are like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. So I don't speak Latin, but
Fair enough. Same. Awesome. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate your time. I'm gonna come back on Sunday and check in and see if you sold some of your New Caledonians.
cool. Thanks so much. Yeah, and hope everybody has a good show if you come out.
So, Will,
Hey, how's it going?
good morning.
Good morning.
So, Exotics Unlimited, you guys are very unlimited. You have all kinds of. You have a good variety.
Yeah.
But you definitely have lots of invertebrates and spiders.
Yes.
So I'm going around the show and I'm asking people, and I'd like to know from you, from your invertebrates, what you think is most likely to sell over the course of the show.
Well, usually the bread and butter stuff. Usually like your common Mexican red knees, brachypelma, but pink toes are super popular too. So I think that, usually the bread and butter stuff. So like that cheaper low end, common, docile, that sort of stuff always moves at shows, but people also come to us for some of the more rare Asian arboreal stuff, and just kind of a mix.
If I made you pick one individual spider or invertebrate that you thought was going to sell at the show, could you do it?
Yeah, absolutely. Every show that these do amazing. So this is a Caribbean versicolor. This is what they look like. So the bright blue, you see it on the cameras, might be kind of small, but yeah, they're bright blue as babies, and then as adults they turn purple, pink, and green. So really beautiful, they're docile. So I know for a fact that these are going to sell at the show.
How much are they?
They're about $35. We have them on sale. They range from $30 to $50 online, depending on supply and demand, time of year, sort of thing. But yeah, we have them pretty competitively priced, so I'm more than confident these are going to move.
What's the handability on these guys, just out of curiosity?
Very high. So I would recommend the versicolor as one of the best handleable tarantulas because they're arboreal. So if you drop them, they're going to take falls a lot better than some of your like terrestrial species that are going to be on the ground. The arboreals are designed to take falls from trees. So it is really great for kids that like to run around with their pets, but also they hold on better because they're used to climbing. So it's really great for kids.
How big do they get?
They get about, so my biggest versicolor I've ever had was close to 6 inches.
Wow.
So that's an older female. Usually they'll like speed up growth until about 4.5 inches across, and that's lifespan, diagonal lifespan. So we measure from the front right to the back left leg. But they'll get about like up to 6 inches, but they're gonna slow down around 4.5 and then grow out into that 6 inch over the span of their lifespan. For females, it's about 15 years. 10 to 15, depending on if you breed them, how much they're fed, how often, and then the males are going to live that like 2-ish year range.
Cool, man. And what's the most expensive invertebrate you have on your table?
The most expensive is probably the Theraphosinea yasuni. So that is a new species from Ecuador, I believe. It's Yasuni National Park. I'm pretty sure it's in Ecuador. And they just got into the hobby last year. They're an amazing terrestrial. It gets about 7 inches allegedly. We don't know because we don't have adults yet. But they allegedly get about 7 inches. They have a beautiful crown. I call it a crown on their carapace. It's like stripes meeting to the middle. Looks like a crown to me. And then they're one of the few tarantulas that actually have like a more yellow tinge to them. There's not really a lot of true yellow tarantulas. This is one of the ones that has a true yellow on it, in my opinion. And then also a gorgeous orange coloration. It's just a little bit different than your typically striped tarantula. Something maybe like more beginner hobbyists might not be able to recognize the difference between, but the people that have been in the hobby definitely notice. And it's just a cool species.
What's the price?
So those are about they retail from $500 to $600. We have them on sale for $450. But that should be the most expensive one that we have.
All right, people are just starting to trickle in, so we're going to check back on Sunday with you and with all of the vendors and see if the animals they thought were going to sell do sell, and maybe if they sold their expensive ones as well. So cut to Sunday. All right, folks, so we are back. It is Sunday. Full disclosure, it is not the end of the show yet. I actually have to take off early from the show, which is unfortunate, but it means that let's see, what time is it exactly? It is 12:20, so there's still actually like 3.5. I think the show goes to 4 or 5. Either way, there are still many hours left in the show, so maybe there's going to be sales that are made between now and then. Next time I do one of these, I would love to go to the very end of the show and wait till like the last half hour and do this to follow up, just because it gives vendors that chance to have those last couple sales that might come through. But since I have to leave, we can't do that. So we'll see if Saturday or this morning was good enough for them to move the animals that they thought they would. We'll see. I'm back with Will.
Hey, what's up? How's it going?
So you had said that the animal you were most likely to sell was going to be the Caribbean versicolor?
Yeah.
Did you sell?
Yeah, we did.
How many?
I think we sold 2 or 3 already.
Sold 2 or 3 already.
Yeah.
All right, and the show's not even over yet, so.
It's not even over. We already did better than we did last time, and I think each time it's going to get better. I'm super stoked.
How about the what was it? The Ecuadorian crowned?
Yeah, we didn't sell any of those, but those were moving really well. I think we sold 6 online in our recent event in the past couple weeks. So that's definitely an online animal. For sure.
I think that's part of the show. So people that don't know online can come to the show and then learn about you, and then they might go online after the show.
Maybe they can plan for it later on when they find out. Yeah, when they learn about it, they can talk to me about it. Yeah, for sure.
Well, thanks for taking the time, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
I'm back with Brian.
What's going on, everybody?
And you had said that you were hoping to sell. I know the show's not all the way over yet, but the thing that you thought would most likely sell was going to be the New Caledonian gecko.
I was wrong.
You were wrong.
I was wrong. It's been orchids. All yesterday, I sold a lot of orchids, so thank goodness I brought orchids.
Wow.
Yeah. So you never know at a show, though. You never know. It's been a good time, though, either way.
True. Well, how about the kahua, the $10,000 kahua?
Oh, that one I'm bringing home with me. Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, that you were I don't think you wanted to sell that one anyway, huh?
No, I mean, when you got stuff that's really nice, it'll go great in the breeding program. But, you know, if anybody's looking to bump up their kahua projects, yeah, you know where to go.
Link in the description if you want to go and find that online.
So, yeah, definitely hit me up. Check out the website. So,
all right, perfect.
Yeah, man.
All right, thanks, B.
Yeah.
Good to see you again.
Likewise.
Now, correct me if I'm mistaken, but the animal you said you would sell most likely to sell at the show is going to be a sulcata, and you had him for $195. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Did you sell?
We sold about half of them. We still have 3 left over there in the bin. Sold 4.
To be fair, the show's not over yet.
Yes, so hopefully they'll still go.
Yeah, but you did sell sulcatas, though.
We did. We sold a good amount of them. We do pretty well with sulcatas typically. People love sulcatas.
Now, you had the spider tortoise over there for like, what was it, 3.5K?
Yes, I did. Surprisingly, actually, one of the breeders who I actually know, his name's Will Aarons, he came to the show and is looking for a male. So I've planted the seed. I have not made the sale yet, but he's probably one of a handful of people in the country who's actually potentially going to buy it, and he knows I have it now. So hopefully he'll get the extra male from me.
And he's here.
He is.
And the show's not over.
The show's not over yet.
All right. Well, we might have to come back and check. I have to leave right now, but hopefully you make that sale, because that sounds like a good sale for the day.
Hopefully so. I'll message you if I do and let you know.
Sounds good, bro. Thanks for your time again, man.
Yes, sir.
Matt, I'll tell you what. I'm never a fan of trying to film a video when I'm like have to leave the same day the show is still happening. But sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, and at least I'm making it happen and not just giving up. Because there was a moment where I felt like maybe I can give up because I got to go. But here's the thing. Over half of the people that watch these videos apparently are not subscribed. And if you are enjoying this content, I would invite you to subscribe, because not only does it help the channel, it's also free for you to do. So I would appreciate it. Thank you. When I came by the other day, we talked about the male lily white for $250 was going to be the most likely gecko to sell at your table. Did that happen?
We didn't sell it, actually, but we sold a bunch of other geckos.
Okay, what did you sell?
We sold a bunch of cresteds. We sold a couple leachianus. So it was a good show.
Oh, awesome. But just not that particular animal.
No, I guess they wanted some other ones, so that's all right.
Yeah, it's all right. I would never expect anybody to actually be able to guess what they're going to sell accurately 100% of the time. That would be ridiculous.
Oh, man. We could make it happen.
We can make it. Well, to be fair, there's still
a crested gecko for sale if you want one. It's $200. It's a good deal.
There's still hours left in the show, so there's that.
Yeah, it's also picking up. A lot of people just walked in, so.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising for getting afternoon on the Sunday. It is kind of picking up.
Yeah, I heard that everyone comes after church to buy some geckos, so.
All right, I'm not going to argue with that. The super sable for $2.5. Anything happen with that?
A lot of interest, actually. Yeah, so it's still like a newer morph, so it got a lot of attention because people wanted to see it because they haven't seen super sables before.
I think a big thing about bringing animals like that to the show too is that you get them there to get the exposure. Like if you sell it or not, at least it got the exposure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks, John. Appreciate your time, bro.
Yeah. Nice seeing you.
You too, man. I'll see you again soon. Zach.
Yes.
I'm back.
Let's do it.
So, we asked the other day, what would be the most likely animal that you would sell at the show? Yes. You had guessed about a RDR IMG female.
Yes, and we sold 3 of them.
No kidding.
Yes.
That's amazing, because it wasn't like an expensive. That was like a $2,400 animal.
Yeah, they're moving. They're golden. If you got them, get them.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they're moving. Yeah, if you want all black boas, they're gonna sell, and we're not gonna produce enough of them.
Now the other one was I think it was a labby.
Yeah, a hypo snow glow labyrinth. She's right there. Yeah.
Okay, so she didn't. The funny thing is that, well, not funny, but like, so a lot of the people that I've asked for on this video, like they're the ones that were most likely going to sell were more in the like maybe $100 to $200 range. Right. You're at $2,500 for, and their most expensive would be like 10 times that, or more than 10 times that. Sometimes 100 times that. Yep. This one is only twice your.
Yep. Yeah, and they're moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the Hypo Glow Snow Labyrinth that we got $5,000 on. She hasn't sold, but I mean the other three that were $2,400 did.
Well, there you go. I mean, it's not.
Are moving. The animals are moving here.
We'll go ahead and call that a success.
Yes, sir. Amen. Works for me.
Thanks, Zach.
Yeah.
All right, we are back with Spenny.
Hey, how you doing?
So at the beginning of the show, and I know the show's not over yet, but we had talked about, you were actually the only person who thought that, so I asked everybody what their animal they thought was most likely to sell, and as well as what their most expensive animal was. You were the only person who had your most likely to sell was actually also your most expensive with the red-eyed tree frogs. So right. How did that go?
I sold some of my red-eyed tree frogs. However, I sold more of my milk frogs over the last 2 days. Our Amazon milk frogs did really, really well at this show. I thought maybe because they were a little bit smaller and they were babies, people wouldn't be as interested, but they love them and they're flying. So.
Wow. Well, you sold both.
Yep, I've sold both. We've sold more milks. I've sold 2 of my albino red-eyed tree frogs.
Wow, awesome, man. That's
both
great.
The people that bought them are really excited to have them. They're really, really pumped. They even came and said goodnight to them when they left yesterday.
That's awesome. I love that. That's the best. That shows you they really care about them.
And that's what is most important to me, because it breaks my heart a little bit every time I give one of them to somebody. So I'm glad to see that they're going into the hands of people who really care about them and really love them.
Awesome. Well, hey, I appreciate your time, and thank you for...
yeah, thank you so much, Brian.
Yeah, thank you, bro. See ya.
See ya.
What's up?
I got good timing this time.
Yeah.
This is my 3rd try, and I got you. I'm not going to do this anymore.
Okay.
I've been doing this because I'm not smart. So we asked you at the beginning-ish of the show,
right,
what was your most likely animal to sell?
Right.
And I was caught off guard because I assumed it was going to be a ball python. Yeah. And then you were like, no, it's California red-sided garter. What happened with that?
So I sold 2 California red-sided garter snakes so far to another vendor. So 2 females. And surprisingly, we've sold a lot of project animals here. This, that, tri-stripe, het hypo, stuff like that. And then, of course, blue-eyed Lucy's. We sold 4 of those already. And quite a few banana combos. So it's a little bit of mixed match of what we're selling so far.
Okay. Yeah. That's awesome, man. And then I already peeked over there, but your most expensive one didn't go yet. But.
Not yet, but we're hopeful. We're hopeful. Usually for those type of animals, the other vendors need to do well, and then they come in around 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday, and that's where those big animals sell.
Right, which it is not that time yet.
Not yet. It's getting there.
I would wait till then, but I have to go catch a plane in like an hour.
I got you. Yeah, I got you. I'll text you and let you know we move one. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Also, just, dude, I just want to say, like, I appreciate how much you conduct business and just like the amount of respect that you clearly have for the hobby and industry and the people in it, and the way you treat everybody is commendable.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I try to, leave this industry. I'm going to try to leave this industry better than the way we found it. Obviously, I always tell everybody that. And again, you'll get the respect you give out, in this industry. It seems like, the people that respect me, I show a lot of respect for. And we've been blessed to be put in the position we are so far. So it's just been great. Just enjoy being here.
Yeah, more of the same. I like to see it.
All right.
Thanks, Bob. All right, Sabrina, I'm back.
Hi.
So at the beginning of the show, you had predicted that the most likely plant to sell would be the Monstera albo at 150. Is that what happened?
It's gone. It's gone yesterday.
Gone.
Yes.
Yesterday, so it was quick.
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, we also talked about your most expensive plant here, which was the Alocasia pink nobilis.
Correct.
And what happened with that one?
It's still here. It's definitely been a favorite. A lot of people like to touch it, but it's still here.
Okay, fair enough. I would never honestly expect for like the most expensive thing to like it. And still, there's actually still a couple hours left in the show. So
yes, and I'm willing to maybe come off a little bit, but it's personally my collection, so I'm willing to take it back home.
Yeah, that's why you price them. Like if it sells, okay, but if I take it back home, okay.
Yes, perfect. Yes, awesome.
Awesome. Thanks, Sabria. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Seriously, good job today. I can tell the way you're like having people like you at the show makes a huge difference in how the show goes. So thank you for doing that the way you have.
And I love what I do. So
Yeah, it shows. It shows. Right. Yeah, thank you. Hello. Tell me you're recording. Okay, thank you.